Hello again, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back now with issue 24 of the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. Okay, so issue 23 took so little time that I thought I'll just crack straight on with issue 24. So in issue 24 we have a piece on medical facilities. Don't look very good. There was a dentist, an advert for dentistry about how most people don't look after their teeth, and well, unfortunately they still don't, but hey ho. Things that were stored in the pharmacy, who the ship's doctors were. Doesn't look a very nice picture there. And that's it, really. And then we're on to the parts. A bit more to do in this one. So let's get the box open and see what we're getting today. Okay, so here is our box for this issue. Fair deal heftier than we had in the last one. And first thing to come out is the big hull piece. Very nice. We have some AM screws, some LM screws, and some KM screws. We also have one anchor. As I say, I am going to open up my other issue 24 and put the second anchor on once I'm done filming. So, yeah, there we go. Nothing else in there. Check there's nothing else wrapped up in tissue paper. Nope. Now see, I don't understand why they would provide us with one anchor, not the other. But, you know, that's the way they do things. So, here we have the hull, as before. And the first thing I need is the big hull piece here. So that just links in with all these holes down here. It's not too much of a jigsaw piece, so as long as you can roughly get it all to go in the right place, you should be fine. So I just need to manipulate this a little bit, and there we go. Perfect. All lines up very nicely, including the white bit at the top there. You can just see like that. Perfect. Okie dokie. So, if you give me a moment, I'll go and get my screws out. Okie dokie. So the first thing you're wanting to use is the LM screws, and they go along these holes here. So get the first one lined up. And again, what I'm using is, I hate the stupid wee Allen key, so I'm using my ratchet to put these screws in. Go. The first one in, so I'll put the other two in here and I'll come back to you in a moment. So that's those three screws in, and now we have two more to put in there and there, and they're KM screws. Now what I don't get is those are hex head screws, but the ones we used on the other side are Phillips heads, which were much easier to use. But hey ho, I didn't design it, so there we are. But yep, so I'll put the top one in so you can vaguely see what I'm doing, or maybe I won't because the screw has just fallen all the way down the bottom. Very nice. So I'll place it in the hole this time, line the socket up, and again, fortunately these ones at the top here, they're quite shallow. They're not all that necessary really, now that you've got the screws and the other points. But I'll get the other one in and I'll come back to you in just a moment to finish off with the screw that goes in the top. Give me 2 minutes. Perfect, that's that all done. And then finally we have an AM screw which goes through the top and affixes the white strip here to the black hull immediately below it. Now this one you want to make sure you get nice and tight so there is no panel gap, and that is looking like that. Absolutely magnificent. That is the front of the ship as she looks at the moment. Absolutely splendid. Really, really impressed with that. And now finally, all we're doing is, I'll do this with one of the anchors. As I say, I'm going to be stealing the other anchor from my spare issue 24. Here's the anchor piece here. And now all we're doing is, you can see the hole in the hull there. Tweezers are going to be your friend here. I do have a set of angled tweezers. Just push the hook through, grab it with the tweezers. Now it has to run underneath, but no, actually they want it over the top of these support beams, and it will run down to there. And now what we need to do is pick this up, and there should be just enough room for us to, you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm unclipping the little attachment here. It's almost like a necklace attachment, and that gets held on just like that, and that is how the anchor hangs. Fantastic. As I say, I'm going to do the other side, and then that is us for this issue. So that's us all done and dusted for issue 24. It's coming in issue 25. Well, we have the front bulkhead, which goes between the forecastle deck and the forward well deck. We also have the LEDs that go underneath the forward well deck to light up the underside of the hull, and we have 2 sets of stairs which go between the forecastle deck and the forward well deck. Now, this might take me a bit of time because I do not like the kit supplied parts. So I have actually gone and bought a 1/200th scale sheet of photo etch. Now these ladders here are the right size, so I'm going to fold them. I'll do it on camera for you. I'll fold them and paint them so I can fit them between the 2 decks. Now I may do that as a separate kind of thing, but that is how she is looking at present. Look at that, doesn't she look great? As I say, I had a spare issue 24, so I've fitted both anchors, and if I can, yeah, it doesn't quite sit. That's what we'd say we're doing the next issue, is joining these 2 decks together just like that. And once that's done, we can set the whole assembly on top of the hull. Now I'll show you what I was talking about with the anchors. See, it's just a simple pull string. You pull them out and they go back up on both sides. It's a little novelty, not something we'll use with any degree of regularity, I wouldn't have thought. But again, a nice little touch. Another thing I was considering doing was widening these 2 holes and putting a hole there so I could run the anchor chains down through that hole. I may well do that at a later date. Again, can always come back to it until the time where we actually attach the forecastle deck to the hull itself. But again, just look at that. She's looking absolutely magnificent. That's only us up to the end of issue 25. As I say, the next piece we're fitting goes in there, and it'll attach these 2 deck pieces together. but I am so impressed. There are some inaccuracies, as I've said, but you know, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. If you're loving it, leave me a comment, a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's issue 24. As I say, I will do issue 25, and then I'll do the photo etched upgrade for the stairways when I get round to it. It is what it is. So yeah, as I say, I have all the way up to issue 36 here. So for the next few weeks, you're going to get a Titanic a day. But thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully see you back for the next one. And as always, peace out.